Hey, good morning. Welcome to Brokers Market Better, our second webinar of the training series. My name is Krish Dhokia, SVP of Marketing and Business Development here at Kind Lending. And we're super excited that all of you are awake and ready to go. It is just 2 days after Christmas, and I'm sure everyone had a wonderful holiday. So I'm glad you guys are up and awake and ready to rock and roll, talking everything marketing. So last session we talked about the marketing plan in itself. Today we wanted to just cover some really good tips to focus on as you kind of head into the 2024 year. We're super excited. Rates are looking amazing, and just a lot of different things are happening in 2024. So one thing that we did was we just drilled down just a very few items, and we do have a project for you through this call, a template that you'll be able to utilize to start building something special. So without further ado, and again, thank you for joining, we're going to get started. So today we are talking about advantages of investing in marketing in 2024. I'm sure you've heard a lot about, hey, I need to allocate X amount each year to my marketing efforts. We're going to dig deep on why you should do that. Social media focus of 2024, your audience persona project, the project I just recently mentioned, and then some database cleanup tips. So moving right into advantages of investing in marketing in 2024. And I do want to add a plug. If you are really interested in marketing, we have actually created a Facebook group, a private group for any of you that would like to join. And there's a link. We'll share it in the chat. We'll share it in the email that you'll get post webinar as well. And in that, we really, encourage all of our mortgage brokers to talk, right? Talk about marketing, ask questions, give tips as well to your fellow comrades in the mortgage business. But we want to be able to chime in and give you some clear directive on, hey, these are some really cool tools. Here are the newest tools. Everyone is talking about AI and things like that. Would love to kind of help navigate some of those questions as well. So Brokers Market Better, brand new Facebook group, and it's all for you. So there's just a couple of questions to enter, and then you can go off to the races and ask all the questions you like. Okay, so advantages of investing in marketing in 2024. So, well, give me just a second. I apologize. So, marketing helps potential clients find your business. Okay, so we already know that, hey, if you put a flyer out there or put a social media post out there, that clients are going to be able to find you, and that's a really important acknowledgement that if you're not marketing in that sense, clients are just not going to find you. And this goes down to having a good website, focusing on search engine optimization, laying all those foundational markers across the digital web so that folks can find you. And then you'll earn that respective right to start marketing from an advertising perspective, right? You can run ads on various social platforms, on Google. But first, you have to make sure that all your ducks are in a row in 2024 so that you can help folks find you. There are ways to do it on platforms like Yelp, Google My Business. If you haven't created those platforms, the encouragement here is go and do those, lay that foundation so that you can run ads in the future or when you're ready. Consistency, right? Every marketer talks about consistency. Every conversation you've joined up to this point, we all talk about consistency. So regular marketing helps build and nurture client relationships. There was a day and age where 2020 and 2021 where business was just knocking at the door. Now it's time to really get back into that pipeline creation and building nurturing those client relationships. Strong marketing strategies that truly help drive leads and increase sales. we talked about the marketing plan and, what of those SMART goals that you create in that marketing plan, all of which should drive your leads and increase your sales. So continue to, investing in that marketing strategy. So whether it's adding a little, allocating some dollars to drive those leads or boost your posts or what have you, and keep investing. Quality marketing strategy will help you thank you, Mackenzie, stand above your competition. There are a lot of mortgage brokers that you're competing against, mortgage loan officers that you're competing against in your respective marketplaces that are not prepared to do that. I'm not saying that everyone has terrible marketing plans, but if you have your marketing strategy and your plan ready to rock and roll, you will stand out. That's a guaranteed. Investing in that piece is essential to your success. Smart marketing strategies can actually save you money in the long run. If you think about the ROI, which folks, will throw money at something and hope it sticks. If you're truly dedicated to your strategy, you will cut costs when you increase your sales. So we all know that. That's basic business acumen 101. And then lastly, gain a better understanding of your clients' needs through marketing. And that's something we're going to focus on in this conversation, is building a persona of your clients, of your ideal clients, and without redlining, without compromising any compliances, really gaining an understanding of who you are marketing to within your respective communities, within your audience, and we'll get into that piece as well as database cleanup and segmentation. Please do ask questions in the chat. I have had 3 cups of coffee this morning, so I'm on a roll as far as energy, but please do ask the questions. So first piece we're going to talk about is Social Media Focus 2024. And there's some clear underlying, and these are quotes that maybe I came up with. I can't remember if I read them. I'm sure I read them in the past, but I'm going to say these three things here. The platform is never as important as the story you are trying to tell and the audience you are telling it to. So again, we're going to be talking about personas and audience building, as well as database cleanup, but it's never as important as the story you are trying to tell. So you have to be telling a story. The days of just posting for the sake of posting across social media are gone. People want to be told a story. Why is it important to them? I'll give you a perfect example. You go out and you post a social media graphic that says, "Hey, I offer FHA loans and come to me." That is not as good of a story as that. That is no story. That's just a post, and you're just talking at people and not to people. But if you were to change up your content, whether it's digital or social, and say something to the effect of, "Hey, I helped someone, buy their first home using an FHA loan," or "I made dreams come true." You really telling the story. You can even dig deeper, just talk about a story that hey, someone was renting, they had no idea that they could purchase a home, and I spoke to them, I advised them, and they selected an FHA loan, and they're saving X amount of money or whatever. Tell the story. Second, you should never, ever, ever jump on social media platforms just because it's popular or because you don't want to miss out. I wanted to include a picture of all the logos of all the platforms that exist today. Last year, we saw some, Threads came out last year, another meta platform to compete with Twitter or X. X changed their name. They changed their algorithms. Pinterest is now a hot thing. There's a lot of platforms out there. Don't do it just because it's cool. Do it because you want to concentrate on it. And we'll get into some tips on social media focus here in a second. But lastly, blindly creating social media accounts and duplicating content does not work. because your customers are using different platforms for different needs. So Instagram is kind of become a melting pot, but traditionally it was to showcase lifestyle through photos. Right now, they've added video, they've added a bunch of reels and stories and all that stuff, but that's traditionally where lifestyle happens. Facebook has still continues to still be this traditional place where connectivity happens between family and friends and networks. Twitter, get it out on paper or get it out on 240 characters or whatever, what's on your mind or what you think about things. Threads is very similar. Pinterest is showcasing lifestyle through pictures, but all of them have multiple deliverables and assets that are you can be used as a utility. But think about where your audience is. Where are your clients? If you live in a small town in, I don't know, Dallas, Texas, well, or small, Dallas isn't small, but in somewhere in Texas, small town, and everyone is talking about the state fair, and their biggest page, that's the biggest thing that happens in this town, right? It's a really boring town. and they're all on Facebook. Then you would want to be on Facebook because at least a couple of times a year everyone's going to be there. Probably a poor example, but kind of I hope you follow. Be where your clients are. Your clients, your traditional home buyers, they may never be using Twitter, so don't be there. Be where they're at. Instagram, Facebook, whatever. So you've got your most popular platforms: Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and X. But YouTube, Pinterest, and all of those things are top contenders as well. So moving right into the right approach. I said all the things that you shouldn't do, but different social media platforms should have different strategies. Only focusing on a few of those platforms is a really, really good idea. Mastering maybe 2 or 3 will lead to a loyal following, right? While being mediocre on all of them will not. So pick your 3. At this point, 10, 15 years down the pipe where everyone has a social media account, I would assume that both Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn, or all 3, are your top platforms. Continue to master those and only add another platform if it is truly necessary. If you go to a lot of mortgage brokers' websites today, any mortgage lender, real estate companies, if you look, we all know now where to look for those icons, right? I want to follow on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube are typically the top 5. Add one of the top 5. YouTube is a really tough one to crack. Unless you're Mr. Beast, who has, I don't know, bajillions, cajillions of followers, it's really hard to obtain true following on YouTube. And it really almost becomes embarrassing at the point where, hey, you've uploaded all these videos, you got like 5 views. And the reason for that is not because people aren't watching the video, is because then we tend to take that video and share it via email and share it via Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, whatever. And when you're sharing those live links, it doesn't equivalent to analytics on YouTube. So it's still a very tough place to crack. But the reason why people use YouTube is not just because of the analytics and to grow followers and viewership there. It's because it's SEO friendly. When your clients are searching for you, because YouTube is a Google platform, it will show up on your searches. So again, it has its hidden value as well. Okay. So now we're going to go into and talk about audience, persona, and project. So one of the first things I did as a marketer, at the few companies that I've been at prior, and even here at Kind, is really dig deep. Who do we want to work with? Who do you want to work with? And again, I'm not talking so much about redlining, I only want to, talk to, or, obtain clients that have this, income or live in a certain area or whatever. But it tends to be a little bit more than that. Okay. So our audience persona project is going to help you kind of dig deep on what matters, right? We all know about personalities. We've done a lot of things through our careers to learn about personalities. We may have even taken a personality test. This is your opportunity to kind of break down before 2024 hits and use our template to break down who your clients truly are. So we've got about, I think it's about 7 or 8 different templates within, and you can call them whatever. So it could be Teresa Tech, Teresa Techie, right? Could be a fake picture, and you can call it Teresa Techie. And then if you think about someone that is a tech savvy person, that's a potential client for you, listing out all the attributes of that one person that matter to them, right? So they could be a type A personality, that's fine. But if you're looking at, hey, you know what, the techie, what they are interested in is short messages that talk about ease of use, speed, what matters to them, and then what this project is going to help us do, and we're going to talk about it on the Facebook group, as well as we'll be talking about in future seminars, webinars as well, is not only what matters to them and how they want to be spoken to, but what will get the deal, right? What will get them to give you their business, and then cultivating the messaging, whether it's short, whether it's long. Hey, look, um, Education Eddie it could be a persona, and Education Eddie needs to be educated, right? And so, but he also doesn't like long messages, right? So whether it'll come down to, we'll be able to cultivate your email messaging, your social media messaging, because not every post is meant to attract the entire audience. You have to be able to segment. You have to share the types of social media content that you share on social have to be segmented, right? Like on Mondays, I'm talking to Teresa Techie. On Wednesdays, I need to create something for Education Eddie. And so really kind of breaking it down, it's like, okay, if you have 5 or 6 different audiences, you've now expanded your content marketing in a segmented way to then really drill down and speak to people. Because what we talked about is storytelling earlier in this conversation. You have to tell a story to Teresa Techie that resonates with her. And even if she's not ready to buy today or refinance tomorrow, then 3 months from now, she's going to have continued a social drip, email drip that is created specifically for her. Because not hopefully all of you are creating marketing today, right? That's why you're here. You're already emailing people and calling people, but now it's the time for 2024 is really breaking out that audience and saying, okay, everyone that, like, you could live in San Francisco and have all of these technology clients or potential clients. You want to create specific marketing to them that's clean, efficient, and gets to the point, and they understand it. So that's what this project is going to be. So I look forward to connecting with a lot of you in January, all of you in January, and in the broker marketing group, a Brokers Market Better group, and ask all the questions you want. Feel free to share it with me or our team, and we can take a look at it as well, right? So, because that's the first step. You have to create a persona. I did this years ago, and I've done this many times over the course of my career, and it has been uber helpful, so that we don't create wasteful marketing, right? Why are we marketing this basic message that resonates with no one just to make us feel good? All right, last section, actually second to last section, database cleanup tips. So I was reading a stat earlier this week. Yep, I read a lot about marketing before and during the holidays because I'm a geek. But 70% of your database on average, right? This was, I think, I forget who did this study, but 70% of any salesperson's database is is inefficient and obsolete at the beginning of each new year. At any given time, really, 70% is pointless, right? So you may have 1,000 contacts, and 700 of them are not viable, right? Meaning they're not going to give you business, and you keep marketing to them, and they've tuned you out. Couple of tips that you could really kind of focus on in as you prepare for 2024. Tips that you really need to focus on is consolidating contact records, right? Moving them out of one, well, let me take a step back. Most CRMs at this point, if you're utilizing the CRM, hopefully you are. If not, we will include some recommended links in the group, Facebook group. But at this point, you have the CRM, and you've utilized tags and whatever type of organization mechanism that CRM provides. It's time to kind of take a look at that and do all the buckets make sense. Do you have a bucket that is, hey, what is it? A cold lead, right? Well, and they've just been there for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. Go through them and make sense of it. You want a fresh look into 2024 as you look at your CRM. The only analogy I can give you is my thing is I have so many notifications on my phone that I've ignored them. Think about it from that perspective. I have actually, let me look right now. I have 240 unread text messages. I know. Not all of you are like that, but I have 240 unread text messages, 146 emails on my phone right now. But I've created a blinder, right? I don't look at that anymore as hey, I've got to do it. So same thing, right? You log into your CRM, maybe you have created triggers, and there's just a huge number. Consolidating your contact records to avoid all of those triggers and cleaning up that mess. Be ready for 2024 so you don't miss those opportunities. Implement a standard process, meaning dedicate every Monday morning. This is going to happen. I'm going to go through my CRM and make sure things are ready for the week. Hopefully all of you are already very organized in doing that. But the additional standard processes that you have could be, hey, you know what? I'm going to rethink the way the leads come into my platform, or I'm going to rethink how I'm categorizing my leads, or where my triggers are. Take an opportunity once a week at the minimum to stand by your processes and implement new ones. Just because a CRM is created the way it is created does not mean that it can't be bent to fit your needs, right? Create clear segmentation. So from this persona project, you'll be able to create clear segmentation. The basic segments that you should already have in your CRMs today, or in your databases, however you utilize databases today, is you should have your realtor database. You should have your past clients, current clients, future clients, or something to that effect. Take it a step deeper. Hey, I've got my realtor clients that are buying agents only, selling agents only, the combined majority of them, both. I want to take my agent database and dig deeper to say, hey, these are the agents that have sent me a deal, in the last 12, 24 months, whatever. These are agents that are my prospects to work with. Start digging deep and making those tags make sense for each segment of your database. Clients, right? Clients that are renting, clients that are that have purchased from me in the past, clients that are related to someone I've closed with before. Really, once you segment those and you build out those personas, you can message to them directly. And whether you're using automation or you're picking up the phone or writing them a handwritten email or note card or whatever, it's going to mean more. So until you have your segmentation down, the best way to really go about this piece is take a blank sheet of paper, right, and a pen. I know it's very old school, take a pen and build a family chart, right? Like what was it called? A family tree. Here's me, here's realtors, here's past clients, here's current clients and future clients. And then start drawing the tree. Here's all of the different, and you don't have to make a segmentation for every single one, but get it out on paper. When you have that blueprint, go back into your database, go back into your CRM and build it out. Move people around. Take the time because in 2024, if you're not going to your CRM and easily drilling down and segmenting who is who, refi opportunities and things like that, then you just are going to be lost. I've worked with mortgage loan officers and brokers in the past that have closed with thousands and thousands of clients in the past, and they have this database and it's gold because they have at least that relationship in the past with this group of folks, and they don't know where to start. Take a little bit of time each week and work on those segmentations. Number 4, audit your data. Don't think that just because it's in there that it's correct. People move, people change email addresses, people have changed phone numbers. Audit your data. And that, what I'm not saying is, if you have 1,000 clients, it's going to be almost close to impossible to go into each and every one. But do a spot check on your data. You click on someone and say, oh my God, I didn't realize they unsubscribed. You should have probably known that because most CRMs today will tell you who has and hasn't unsubscribed from your marketing emails. But hey, this was a client that you closed 3 homes with over their lifetime, and they unsubscribed. What happened? Pick up the phone, right? So audit your data frequently, once a month. Just do it, 10 minutes in the morning or whatever, the first day of the month. Do a quick spot check. Also, make sure that your connectivity is still working. So another issue I've seen in mortgage is, or just in general, is CRMs that you might connect to other places, right? Like you may have a Zapier connection from your Facebook leads or Google leads or whatever, and they don't always work. There's always some tech updates going on those partner platforms. And you think you're good, right? You wake up, you're like, well, I know all this stuff is happening behind the scenes for me, but is it? So double check periodically your connections. All right. Remove duplicates. Those are always fun, and they can really clog up your CRM. So if you're manually entering and then you put this lead in and then they fill out some web form or something and that lead goes in. Most CRMs today allow you to identify duplicates. You could also, if you're manually doing it, if you have just this database, the spreadsheet, the good old spreadsheet, alphabetize it, look for duplicates. Email addresses are usually the first identifier you want to look for duplicates. If there's the same email twice, then you have 2 contacts that have different names possibly, but the same email address. Look for those. It's a really good opportunity to make those revisions, right? Like, oh, you know what? That's the same email address, but that was a co-borrower in the past, and I want to make sure that you write in the co-borrower's name or whatever. Number 6, restrict the number of admin users. Now, the good old saying, too many cooks in the kitchen, whatever it is, right? If not everyone is on the same page on how your the previous numbers implement a standard process or create clear segmentation, if everyone's not on the same page as you, then you're always going to be retroactively going behind someone and changing something or vice versa. Make sure that whoever, if you have an assistant, if you have a family member or whoever is helping you kind of keep this thing alive and going, that everyone is on the same page. So yeah, just I don't think any one of us will have too many problems having too many people in that kitchen, but if you do, be kind of cognizant of, hey, you could be undoing and unraveling good work that might be happening in your CRM. Archive old data. Okay, so yeah, I guess examples could be, hey, you closed a loan 7 years ago. Keep that data. But you have all of these leads from 5 years ago that you bought, paid for, or originated and put into the CRM, and they're not responding, they're not opening emails, they're whatever. Don't delete them. Create an archive opportunity, because you might not need them today, but you might need them tomorrow, right? A perfect example is, hey, your referral sources, right? There are more real estate agents leaving the industry in droves than any time before this, right? And in history. And just because they're no longer in the business doesn't mean they're not coming back, right? Just because they didn't take their CE class and let their license expire does not mean they're not coming back. Archive them. If you know that they're no longer selling real estate, they could potentially be a future client of yours. It doesn't mean that they still don't have the opportunity to give you, someone might be calling them to say, hey, can you sell my house? Oh, I'm not in the business anymore. Create a segmentation there that, hey, no longer in the business, but could have referrals still, right? So create different segmentations, but then archive your old data. And lastly, there are freelance opportunities out there that you can outsource your data cleansing. There's some that are specific to mortgage. My recommendation here is do your homework if you find someone, because there are compliance issues there sometimes, right? Or all the time. You want to be protective of your data. You want, so do your homework. They're pretty cost efficient when you are able to find some. We'll do some research on some that we can find, but obviously anyone you speak to, will make sure that they're have some kind of professional kind of statement or paperwork that could support protection of your data as well. Okay, so I know that was a lot. Last piece I want to really talk about as we get ready for 2024 is our key takeaways. We've had several conversations. We've been up on stage at the Vibe event back in October. We are committed to kind of creating this environment for marketing, for our mortgage brokers that want to be able to do more with what they have, and then continue to add to that arsenal. Okay, so four items I want to kind of end the year with as we get ready for our January webinar is these key takeaways. Okay, mortgage brokers should create diverse, flexible marketing plans and strategies, combining digital and traditional tactics. We talked a lot about that in our flexible marketing plan webinar on back, I think it was December 5th. Is, as you create that marketing plan, the flexibility has to be there because things change. And so combine your digital efforts and those traditional efforts. In marketing, we call those guerrilla marketing. There's no guerrilla involved, but guerrilla marketing, traditional tactics, flyers, whatever. Make sure those are still happening, because if they still work, don't dismiss those. Key steps to marketing better include identifying that audience, right? That persona project, that the template that we're going to be leaving with you, creating that strong brand, developing a quality website, and engaging on social. And back to the quality website, we are going to be kicking off a series on doing a kind of inventory of your website, making sure all the pieces are there, how to get the loan calculators onto your websites, how to add feeds to your website, how to make sure the forms are there that are pushing into your CRMs. So we'll have an entire series as part of the Brokers Marketing Better that are all going to be dedicated to the website piece as well, and SEO. So look forward to that. Reach more clients using content marketing ads, creating engagement with influencers or industry professionals and your community. Each one of these takeaways will have its own kind of webinars as well, right? So how do you create an ad? Why create an ad? what to do with the ad, what's the point of the ad, and how to get the leads back into your website and how to measure ROI. We're having a webinar on that as well. Encourage satisfied clients to leave reviews and testimonials. I mean, I think that in our business, we have to create more trust than anyone else because, whether it's a client's previous bad experience or the media's attention to mortgage, we have to create that trust, and reviews and testimonials are really the best way to do that. And where, right? Is it on Google My Business? Is it on Zillow? Where do you want to leave those reviews? So we'll focus on that as well. Stay consistent in these efforts and monitor effectiveness and adjust as needed to maximize results. Whatever you're doing, right, on your marketing plan, we want to create ROI. I hope you're as much of a accounting geek as but I really need to know how much is going in and how much is going out, as far as leads and expenses on marketing. So stay consistent in whatever your efforts are in 2024. Continue to kind of report on your successes and adjust or dismiss the ones that aren't working, right? So those are our key takeaways. Again, we're super excited for what we have in store for all of you in 2024. Join our Facebook marketing group called Brokers Market Better Facebook group. It's a place for all of you to kind of bring your questions, answer questions as a community. We as Kind TPO, Kind Lending, are committed to kind of answering those questions alongside your other mortgage brokers, but also providing links to things that work. Lastly, we do have the Krish Marketing podcast. We've got a lot of exciting folks on these. I think we got another one coming out next week with a young man that I think he's got like 3 million followers on TikTok now. He only talks about mortgage. And we also have another one coming up with Mr. Stephen Cooley, the founder and CEO of Art versus Math, and really educating people on mortgage through creativity. So really exciting guests coming up. We've got about 5 or 6 episodes today, Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts. So thank you so much. I know I am about 10 minutes in. So if anyone has any questions, do we have any questions in here? Let's see. Anyone have any questions real quick on the chat? I should pick on people. Okay. Well, if not, we will be sending. Oh, someone's going to ask a question. What do we have? Who do we have? No. Okay. We will be distributing this presentation as well as the template for the audience persona project. Hopefully everyone will kind of dig deep into that, break it down. If you have a company website, from Jessica Castanon, if you have a company website, should you also have an individual page? And I'm assuming you're asking individual page on each loan officer? Jessica, was that your question?
Hi, no, sorry, I couldn't figure out my unmute button. No, I'm asking, so you were talking about, we each as individuals should have a web page that leads like to us and what we do. So if we are working with a company that already has like a web page or a company website where they have all their LO's information, should we also have one that's just that we're sending people that are not directing them to our company website, that it's just like our own individual?
Yeah, I mean,
Like, should we make a separate like web page just for us that's not associated with company?
Yeah, I mean, every company has kind of varying policies on that, right? Based on, hey, there's a couple of different ways to do that. I wouldn't focus so much on creating a separate website, because then what you're doing is you're creating SEO specifically for that page, but then all the SEO work that's happening on that individual loan officer page is kind of, you're combating it. That makes sense, right? It's almost mixed messaging. If you look up your name on Google and you find it, hopefully your company loan officer page, based on the keywords that they put in with your name, is associated with that page. If you then go create another one, you're starting one from scratch, but then think about it as a consumer, right? If a consumer goes up on a website, on Google search, and can't find clearly where to apply, right? That's our number one goal, is get them to apply. Or call you from that website or email you from the website. If they're staying on that page for more than 30 seconds and doing anything else, like reading your about section, it's really not proving any ROI because they're not applying. So my recommendation is, you could do a domain name, right, to promote your domain name. So JessicaCastellanMortgage.com or something to that effect. And you point that to your loan officer page, right? Okay. So you're creating some personal branding around it, but not so much combating what the company might already be doing to create SEO for the entire website as well.
Thank you.
And then, and just one last piece, and I geek out on this stuff, so I appreciate the question. Think about it again as a consumer, right? And what we were talking about earlier is the trust in the industry and, not being scammed and all of those things. If they're ready to take that action and apply, and they Google you, they want to know which website to go to. Now, if you have 3 up there or 2 up there, it becomes confusing. And the last piece I'll say is, throughout my career building websites and doing all this stuff, the average is between 75 and 90% of all traffic to a website is organic, meaning, sorry, not organic, is linked, right? So you have in your email signature and your business card, QR code, whatever, all of that came from there versus being searched online. So you're telling people to go there versus people just going there freely.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that. Appreciate it.
You're very welcome. You're welcome. All right. Any other questions? Okay. Well, I know it's there's a lot of football games on today. I won't be watching all of them, but it's football season, so it's such a weird week between Christmas and New Year. So again, I appreciate all of you joining, close out the year strong, and let's get ready for 2024, and be on the lookout for the invite for the next event. And if you have any questions about the Persona project and the template, feel free to ask questions within the Facebook group itself, or email your AE and they'll get the questions back to us as well. What day is today? Happy Wednesday.